channel. So I am doing May's finished pages. Now I haven't done nowhere near as much as I did last month and the month before, I don't think, because I've done a lot more diamond painting this month to get my big Hannah Lynn page diamond painting finished. But anyway, I have done quite a bit. So I'm trying to figure out the best way of filming since I've moved everything around. Don't mind the paint I was painting last night. So we've got Hannah Cows on. This is the newest one. I'm not even going to try to pronounce this. It's 7 o'clock in the morning when I'm filming this, so yeah. So we did this one here. Move this tag. I did that one the month before, but I did do a tutorial on this background, and then I finished it up in my own time, and I used Inktense pencils as well as Prismacolor for a bit of detail, and then some Arteza gel pens. I really love how this turned out. And the gold at the bottom, it was just a gold paint, and instead of using a brush I just used my finger and blended it up the page. I'm really happy with how that turned out, and you might have seen how much water I actually used. I'll be able to save that, no problem. I can actually do a video about how I'm going to save that. But the reason that I'm showing you the back of the page, because you would have seen how much water I've used. I know it's crinkled a little bit. I have shown you how to iron your pages, but I've just kept it squished between bits and it's flattened it out quite nicely. So yeah, that's my first one. I still love this one. Still love this one. And then we've got, so I've done quite a few in this one. Just finished this one off last night. Just last night. I might even turn the light on. You think it would be the best time to film now? There we go, my white light. This time in the morning, but apparently not, it's still a bit dull. Can you see the glitter at the top? That is the Wow embossing powder, sparkle glitter I do believe it's called, and I just used the quickie glue pen to apply that, and I've based all of her with the Tombow markers on this one. I'm not happy with how the skin turned out. I was really rushing to get the skin finished with this and it didn't blend out and it was quite patchy, but I don't mind anyway, I don't mind. The gold details that you can see is KJ Designs by Karen. I think that was the metallic cell, metal gold I think it was called actually. And then I used a little bit of that in the background, just a little bit. But I'm quite pleased how she's turned out, all in all anyway. It's just that skin, I was a bit disappointed in myself. As you can see, I went a bit crazy with the paint again. And this was the other one. I did this at the very start of the month. I didn't do a tutorial on this background, but it's the same technique basically. Did I go overboard with this? Yes, I did. So yeah, I always have fun when I'm using watercolours. But yeah. So that is everything out of that one, I do believe. Put that to one side. You've got Circle Portraits by Laura Rafferty. And again, I just had a couple of details to finish off with this last night. And a bit of a background because I didn't want to leave it completely bare. But yeah, this is the one with the dog. And all the cogs and stuff, that is the Faber-Castell Albert Dürer watercolour pencils. And then the actual pencil work on the illustration, the lady and the dog, is a mixture of Prismacolor and Polychromos. And then the shiny paint that you can see in the background is the Color paint. Really, really fun page. I don't pull this book out nowhere near enough. It's a lovely book. This was another early one of the month. Another early one. I think I was using this as a testing page, I do believe. Yeah, I was testing out some different paints and trying some different techniques. I like how the bird turned out, but I really don't like what happened with the background. Feeling it now, I've put gesso on that. I've gessoed the page, and I think that's why the background turned out the way that it did. Yeah, I'm a bit disappointed with the background on that one, but the actual bird itself, I love it. And the colours that I chose, really, really beautiful and vibrant. Yeah, that's that one. That's Imaginary Friends. we have another Hannah Calzone one, and I've done quite a few in this one. So this is Summer Nights, I believe. Yes, we did the front cover, and I did do this one again as a tutorial, just showing you how I did this sort of background. And then to just finish it off, I used Prismacolor and then a little bit of gel pen at the bottom to make it look like it's dripping off the wings. I'm really pleased with that one. And I think I finally found a masking tape that I like, that doesn't do this to the paper. But as you can see, I make a total mess. But it's my colouring book, nobody else's colouring book, so I can do what I like in it. This is the other one that I did. I love how this background turned out. I love the colour choices that I used, absolutely love it. Same technique as the very front cover, just different colours, and then some silver ink and white ink thrown in there, and it's give a really cool effect. And for the actual bug itself, all I used was a mixture of gel pens, just different branded gel pens. That was all. But look how sparkly that is. I catch it in the light. I really love that colour palette. I'm definitely going to use that again. Definitely. We've got, excuse me, my voice, on a Colour with Clothes illustrations, and she asked people on Instagram, would you like to colour a page, and she sent me this one to colour. So I did a watercolour background again on this one. The shiny stuff that you could use didn't work out. What I used didn't work out as well as I'd hoped. It was the Prismy paints, and I don't think I added a thick enough layer, so that's why it hasn't given the marble effect, but it's nice and shiny nonetheless. But I used watercolour as well for the umbrella and the dress. You see all the effects, and a little bit of white gel pen, and I think it was Prismacolor for the rest of the details in this one. So yeah, that was Colour with Clothes illustration. Now I do believe that they're available on Etsy. I'm pretty sure it's Etsy, yep. Another PDF. We've got this little dino. Now I printed this out on a smaller piece of paper, it's not A4, it's only teeny tiny, on the Strathmore tone temp paper. And this was just a really easy one to do. Just sit down for an hour and get this done. The background, all the shiny stuff that you can see, was a Spectrum Noir Sparkle pen. I think it was 2 or 3 different greens that I used and blended it. No, it didn't bleed. I thought it was going to bleed through. But I used Prismacolor again on this one for all of the details. And then the black shiner that you can see here is the Sakura Jelly Roll Glaze pen. But I went round all the flowers as well in white gel pen. I love this. I think he's so cute, so cute. And that was by Annie Colouring. I bought one of her PDFs, and I think I private messaged her, or she brought one dinosaur colouring page out, and I messaged her and asked her to do a full book, and she did. She did a full book, a full PDF book. So if I can still find it, I will have it linked down below, because it is a really nice PDF book. Another watercolour. So I've only done 2 watercolour paintings this month. Yeah. So I did this one. This was a Hannah Calzone page from it weren't Summer Nights, Daydreams I think it was. Let me just double check. Yes, it was Daydreams. So I traced the picture and transferred it onto watercolour paper, and this is what I came up with. And the paints that I used were, it was a mixed bag. It was Daniel Smith, Winsor & Newton Cotman, and the professional ones, and Paul Rubin, I do believe, for this one. I'm really pleased with how it turned out. I initially went with the frog. I was trying to get all really blended out edges, trying to make it look realistic, and I got a really harsh line. I think it was around the face, but I went the opposite way and went with it and created more harsh lines. And I'm really pleased with how this one turned out. Really pleased. So this is another watercolour painting that I did just of a bird. Now, which paper was this? I can't quite remember. It might have been the Paul Rubin watercolour paper that I used for this one. But it's just a little bird. I just found a bird on Google as a reference picture and just attempted to paint it. My sketching is, it leaves a lot to be desired, but my actual watercolouring, I like that, and I use the salt effect as well, all for the bottom. So that's that one. Another little easy one, this one was from the Disney Portraits. That book fell apart on me the first time that I actually flipped it open. The glue just didn't keep it together very well, so I've just kept it all separate. But I just used Ohuhu markers with this and a tiny bit of pencil detail, barely anything. I believe this is the cat from Alice in Wonderland, I want to say. I'm pretty sure it is. But yeah, a nice easy thing to do, easy thing to sit down and do. So this one to me is a little bit of a big fat fail. So I did this all with watercolour paints, and then I went ahead and used the Prismy paints to try and do a drip effect, and it just didn't work. It just didn't work in person. It looks horrible. So I wish that I'd not done that step and I'd just left it with the watercolour paint and the pencils. But I like how I managed to do the salt effect in the background. Really pleased with that. And then all the really white paint that you can see is the Deco Art Americana paint, I believe. I've just got one whip in here that I started the Merman, so I've just finished him. But in hindsight, that is a lot of detail for me to sit down and colour, so this will probably take me a little while to do, just coming back to it, doing a little bit here and there. But the actual Merman was all done in Prismacolor, and it was blended out with a Prismacolor blender as well. So I'll make sure I keep that tab in for next month. So we've only got a few more left here. So we've got Fairytopia, and after I'd finished filming my Mystic Art Mirrors pages video, I found a physical copy of Boot, the space one, and then a PDF boot that I binded into a boot myself. I was kicking myself, I was so annoyed because there's loads of pages in there that I finished that I didn't show you. But anyway, I did this one, and I did a little bit of this on the channel when I think it was a colouring chat video. I love the background on this one, absolutely love the background. The salt effect has worked a treat on this one. A little bit of gel pen just for a bit of sparkle in her hair. If I just move it like that, you can see a lot better. Really pretty. And for the skin, I've used one pencil as shading. I just didn't want to sit here and spend hours and hours shading skin. I was just not in the mood. That's has been a reoccurring thing this month, to be honest. If I'm sitting down doing any art, I wanted it to be mindless, just nothing too much. So this was done at the start of the month, I believe. Well, it was close to the start of the month. But I used them pastel pencils, the Astra, I think it's Astra brand. The cheaper, the dupes for the Holbein. And I used them pencils on everything on this page, and I love how it turned out. Them pencils are absolutely fantastic. I will try and link the video that I did of the little review that I did somewhere around here, and the link for them pencils is in the description of that video. But yeah, I can't speak anything but high things about them pencils. They really are such a bargain for the money that you pay, and they blended out superbly. I had no trouble with sharpening them, no breakage or anything. And again, I printed this out on the Strathmore Tone Tan paper. We have a Mariola B deck. Now this was a whip from last month. I did start the skin last month, but I came back and finished it off. And all of that background, all the shiny goodness, is the Colero watercolour paints, the metallic paints. And then did I base this? I didn't base this with any alcohol markers. This is all pencil. So the hair would have been polychromos pencils, and then blended out with a odorless mineral spirit. And the little glitter that you can see on the eyes are stickles, just for a little bit of eyeshadow. She's looking quite washed out on camera, but she is really nice. So I've got one whip in here and one finished page, and this is my little book that I made of Hanalin. And I've just realised it's transferred all over to the other side. So this is the picture, I do believe. Let me just check. Yes, this is the diamond painting. that I'm doing at the moment, which I will show you because I'm so close to finishing it. But I've used just a little bit of stickles in the background, and it was all Prismacolor this. This was the first page that I sat down and coloured at the couch after my accident. So I couldn't be bothered doing a full background, I couldn't be sitting at the table doing watercolour, so I just left it just with some stickles on. But I love the colour combinations that I use with this, really, really love this. Take that out now. And then my wick that I got on here, I've just started basing this with alcohol markers, just to start it off, so I will come back to that next month. And my last whip that I started last night is this one from Serene. So I just started the skin very, very gradually, and I use polychromos and then use the odorless mineral spirit again to blend it out. And I'm going to check actually now, because there was a lot of grease left over, that's why I put this plastic here to protect the next page, but now it's dry, it's fine. So I'm going to go over with 1 or 2 more layers of the polychromos on the skin just to get her looking really, really smooth. So yeah, so I'll put a little clip over here of the diamond painting that I'm working on. So this is the diamond painting that I've been working on this month. This one is from Diamond Art Club, and I've just got her face to finish. The face and then just the surrounding hair, and then I've finished her. So I'm quite pleased where this one has turned out. Really, really beautiful. I don't think I'll get away with putting another diamond painting up in the house, so it'll just get put into storage. But yeah, I absolutely love this one, and I've enjoyed every minute of doing it as well. So I hope you enjoyed having a little look at what I've been up to this month. I'm hoping to get that diamond painting done in the next week or 2. It shouldn't take too much longer, maybe a good 2 or 3 hours sessions. Like, I probably should be able to get that done. But as you can see, I've not done as much as what I would usually do this month. I've not been in the mood or inspired to sit here and colour for hours and hours when I've got a sore leg. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do leave me a big like and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.